welcome today. And join me in welcoming Dr. Fen Bin Zhong. He is a Fulbright scholar visiting. He's currently at the University of Wisconsin-Madison in the Department of Communication and Journalism, I believe.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us. The topic of discussion today, the relationship between social media use and citizen participation. Join me in welcoming Dr. Fen Bin Zhong.
Thank you, everybody. Good afternoon. Thanks for your coming. This day, I will give a topic on the relationship between social media use and citizen participation. Before I came to the United States, I do a lot of research on the relationship between internet use and political participation in China. When I applied the Fulbright project, they require us to do a research in the field of the United States. When I explored the literature relating about this topic, I found the most hot topic is the relationship between social media use and citizen participation in the United States. Therefore, I wrote a project statement on the topic of the relationship of social media use and citizen participation in the United States and get an approval. So today I will give you the relationship between social media use and citizen participation not only in the United States but also in China. I want to compare different social media use and citizen participation in the United States and China. Until now, I have visited 14 universities all around the United States supported by the Fulbright program. And I give them give them the similar topic but also different. Sometimes I give them a topic on the relationship between social media use and citizen participation in the United States. Sometimes I will give you the topic of the social media in China. Now today I want to combine the two topics. I will give you a general idea of this relationship. After my topic, you can give me you can raise a question and comment. I will hopefully to give you answer on about this topic. This topic I will give you 3 parts. The first part is the relationship between social media use and citizen participation in the United States. Because we all know citizen participation is a really important element in the democracy. When we do a research on the citizen participation in the United States, that means we will improve the quality of democracy in the United States, which I choose this topic as my research. The second, maybe most of you are very interested on the social media use in China because there's lots of different on social media use between United States and China. Because in China we don't use Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram or YouTube just like the people in the United States. We use the Chinese social media software in China. The last, I will give you my analysis on the relationship between social media use and citizen participation in China. Okay. The first, I will give you some basic topic on the social media. As we all know, in the United States, maybe the most popular social media software is Facebook. There are more than 1 billion users of Facebook around the world, more than the population of the United States. People use different social media software such as the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube to generate their private information. That means with a social media software, individuals can upload their private information, including text message, voice message, video message to the social media platform and attract their friends, relatives, colleagues, and even strangers. In this circumstance, people can use social media to facilitate the development of online social network. That means they can use this tool to form online virtual network to attract lots of friends and sometimes even thousands of friends just through social media platform. So you can see with these social media tools, individuals can upload their information anytime, anywhere, through any device. Now the younger generation like to use different or very updated mobiles such as the iPhone Express or etc. They can use different device to upload information through different social media platforms such as Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And in China, we use such as WeChat, microblog. I can find it. I will give you later. How to analyze the impact of social media on citizen participation, because it's a very important topic since the beginning of the internet. There are maybe two arguments. One argument is from a very famous sociologist, Putnam. Putnam is a very famous sociologist. He proposed an idea that the rise of passive television culture and declining good membership has created a generation displacement from politics and public life that is unlikely to be eliminated by new form of online civic action. That means maybe the television will decrease the level of citizen participation because the television always provide the entertainment information, which make the people, especially the youngest generation, unlikely to take different level of citizen participation. This is the major argument from Putnam in 2000. In the later research, he also argued that even the rising of the new media such as different online tools, including social media, didn't bring any change on the level of citizen participation in the younger generation. But however, we can also see another argument. Another argument is regard younger generation as digital native, as the forefront of participatory media that may promote new form of engagement in public life. This scholar give lots of examples. For instance, in 2008, we can see thousands of younger generation in the United States go online to support President Barack Obama, not only online but also offline. They use different social media softwares, including Facebook, Twitter, to upload their private information, discuss their opinion with other people. Sometimes they go offline to support President Barack Obama, which made Barack Obama become the first African American president. So we can see these two arguments. But we can also admit some fact that is now the younger generation are likely to consume the news and political information. I remember that when I visit a community college in Denver, which is called St. Ambrose, the students in that university told me they are likely to get the information from New York Times and Wall Street Journal, which gave me a very surprise. Because as a Chinese scholar, even I'm in China, I always went to the library to get the information from New York Times or Wall Street Journal. Why the younger generation in the university in the United States university are likely to get the information from this traditional media? They told me that they lack of money and time to get this information. They're likely to get the information from different social media platforms, such as the Facebook, Twitter. Oh, this is a very surprise to me. But we can also see another phenomenon. Open source tools and social media platforms create new opportunity for you to form network and take action to address many issues directly. That means we can see lots of website, social media tools, including graffiti, Mimi in YouTube, etc. The younger generation like to use these tools to create a virtual online network to mobilize the younger generation to take part in different levels of citizen participation. Give you an example. We can see nowadays a very serious issue in the United States is mass shooting. Nowadays, even the student in high school went out the street to protest the gun of law, want to change the gun of law through the mobilization of social media platform. So in this circumstance, we can see social media platform play an important role on mobilization of younger generation in different levels of citizen participation. In order to understanding this question, we can use very famously, you can use a theoretical framework produced by a very famous communication scholar, Benetta V, in 2008. In his very famous article, Changing Citizenship in the Digital Age, he argued that in the era of the internet, the people is changing its model of citizen participation from dutiful citizenship to actualizing citizenship. What mean of the dutiful citizenship? Dutiful citizenship is mean that the people are obliged to participate in government-centered activity. That means they like to vote or contact the higher official to express their opinion, to take part in their offline participation. They also like to become informed about issue and government by following mass media. Just they like to get the information from mass media such as New York Times or Wall Street Journal. They also like to join civil society organization and express interest through parties that typically employ one-way conventional communication to mobilize supporters. This is called dutiful citizenship. That means it's also a traditional mode of citizen participation. But nowadays we can see more and more younger generation like to take part in this model of citizen participation, which we call is actualizing citizenship. Actualizing citizenship, that means the people diminish sense of government obligation. They likely to orient higher sense of individual purpose. And in this circumstance, voting is less meaningful than other. More personal defined as such as consumerism, community volunteering, and transnational activity. And these people also distrust on media and politicians. And they favor loose, never, and community action, often established or sustained through friendship and peer relation and think social ties maintained by interactive information technology. That means the younger generation like to use different online tools such as social media to get the information, to express their opinion, to form online virtual group, or take different level action. So that means from this article we can see nowadays more and more people like to change from dutiful citizenship to actualizing citizenship. This is a trend. In order to understanding the difference between these two models, we can give you more detail on these two models of citizen participation according to the article. The article proposes compare the dutiful citizenship and actualizing citizenship in terms of civic style and communication logic. In civic style, dutiful citizenship oriented around citizenship input to government or formal public organization, institution, and campaign. This activity was rooted in responsibility and duty, so we can call it dutiful citizen participation. They use different channels through membership in defined social group. That means they like to join different formal group to express their opinion. However, we can see that actualizing citizenship is open to many forms of creative civil input, ranging from government and consumer policy to global activity. That means they like to take part in different level of citizen participation, not only domestic politics, but also international politics. This activity rooted in self-actualization through social expression. That means they just express their opinion in self-actualization. They like to express their personal interest in channels through loosely tied network. That means they like to join informal group to express their opinions, such as the social network. So when we compare the communication logics in these two models, we can see dutiful citizenship is primarily one-way consumption of managing civic information. That means they like to get the news and political advertisement from traditional authority, mass media. Where individual content protection occurs, it is aimed at a specific institution target. That means they like to contact elected officials, and sometimes they like to write letter to the news organization to express their opinion. When give some topic in other university, the older generation just always tell me sometimes they had already they wrote a letter to the news organization to express their opinion. But most of the younger generation never wrote a letter to the mass organization because they like to use this model, actualizing citizen participation. So actualizing citizen participation is like between content conception on production blood. That means sometimes they also produce the information online. In this circumstance, individual content production and sharing over opinion with that type personal identity to engagement, which can occur in traditional political context, such as viral video sharing in political campaign. So now we can see sometimes the younger generation like to upload video online to express their opinion because the video sometimes will become more viral than other message. Such as in Obama 2008 presidential campaign, we can see lots of video went viral in YouTube. In order to give me more understanding on the citizen participation, we can analyze it 4 key categories of citizen participation. The first is the knowledge necessary to be an effective citizenship. That means if you become an effective citizen participation, the first thing is the right to know. You must know what is true, what is not. Nowadays we can see because of some individual or institution from other countries such as the Russian government like to promote different fake news on social media platforms such as Facebook. Sometimes we will miss different fake news on social media platform. So if you meet lots of different fake news on social media platform or online, which will make us become more echo chamber. And in this circumstance, will make the country become more divided. We can see in 2016 presidential campaign, the United States become more divided than before because of fake news. Fake news always give fake reality, a false reality to all of us. Most of people saw some part of the reality. The other people maybe saw the fake reality, the false reality. The second, expression skill need to communicate effectively. That means if you just get the information we don't talk about with other, that doesn't lead to the citizen participation. Only we get the information, combine the expression, which will lead us to understanding the news and report more clearly, more efficiently than others. So expression is an important skill for the citizen participation. The third is the skill need for joining public. Sometimes we join the formal group, sometimes we join the informal group. Then can emerge coordinating and organizing around an issue or candidate. That means if you only one man to express opinion, this is nonsense, because without an organization, you cannot change the social issue. Only you join some group, organizing to express your opinion, you can change or has a great impact on social issue. So the last is the skill need to take action to address a specific issue or policy. For example, we can see even democracy is in the United States is higher than other countries, but we can see also some different social problems in the United States, such as mass shooting, divided countries, lots of problems. In order to tackle this problem, we should take action rather than just talk about or get the information. Only taking action will change the society. That means citizen participation as an action to tackle the social issue is a very important element to the democracy in the United States, also all around the world. So when we compare the two models of citizen participation in terms of these four elements of citizen participation, knowing beautiful citizenship like to get the vertical information, receiving from gatekeeper such as mass authority, media, and actualizing citizenship like to get the horizontal information and sharing information among peers. Expression. Beautiful citizenship like to contact institution venue and platforms such as voting, contacting, and actualizing citizenship. Like to express their opinions through non-institutional venue and creative forms such as create digital graffiti, YouTube video, meme to express their opinion. Joining. Beautiful citizenship like to join formal membership of group or party. And whereas actualizing citizenship like to joining online or direct action network action. Beautiful citizenship is defined and offered in institution and organization. However, actualizing citizenship is self-generated or generated and endorsed by peers. So this model is the traditional citizen participation, and this is the new model of citizen participation, which is likely to be practiced by the younger generation, use the social media platform. In order to give my supporting, I will give you the survey from a very famous Pew Research Center, a very famous research institution in the United States. The data is in 2012. In January, the younger social media users are more likely to use social media for citizen participation. That means these four columns. This column belongs to the age between 18 to 29. This is 30 to 49. This 50 to 64. This is above the age 65. When we compare these different groups in terms of like promoting political material, encourage others to vote, post on issue, report political content, encourage others to add, post link to political story, belong to political group on social media, follow official candidate on social media. The younger generation, the group of age between 18 to 29 is more than the other group. That means the younger generation like to use the social media platform to take part in citizen participation, especially online citizen participation. This is the survey from Pew Research Center in 2012. So, social media will give us lots of information. They will sometimes give some information from my friend or relative, or also sometimes give some information from traditional media or fake news source. In this circumstance, in this platform, we can also express our opinion and take part in different level of citizen participation. Sometimes it will broaden our citizen participation. Sometimes it will democratize the politics. Sometimes it is a new citizen engagement. Also, we can call it, which is called self-actualizing mode. It also is a very powerful tool for mobilization. So we can see from 2008 and 2012 until 2016, the political elite, especially candidates, like to use the social media to mobilize their followers, especially Donald Trump. Donald Trump like to give his opinion on Twitter rather than just traditional media, because he thought the social media was a very powerful tool to mobilize their followers, especially the younger generation. So maybe we can see now we can very quickly move on to the year of 2020. Donald Trump should absolutely like to use this platform to continue to mobilize this group. So, in order to understanding the question, we should understand why the impact of the media use had an impact on the citizen participation. From a very famous article, Swala TV, a very famous communication sociologist professor in University of Wisconsin, Madison, in 2007, is a very famous article in panel data in 2002 and 2004. It's a national survey data. This variable belong to the media use. This variable belong to the citizen participation. The media variable between media use and citizen participation is discussion, online expression. That means only the variable of expression can enhance the impact of the media use on citizen participation. So, expression or online discussion is play an important role between media use and citizen participation. So now we are in the era of infinite media. That means we get different information from different platforms, such as digital, never, mobile, social, personalizing, and traditional platform. In this circumstance, if we only use the social media in selectivity, that means if you only add the same-minded people on the social media platform, we only add the people with the same idea with you or same opinion with you, that will lead to the social media become an echo chamber. However, if you use the social media in multiplicity, that means if you can add the people in your social media platform with different ideas with you, and you can talk about the people with different ideas, different views, different opinion with you in rationality, that maybe lead to the social media become a public sphere. Public sphere is a very important concept produced by a very famous German philosopher Habermas. Habermas argued that only the people use media as a public sphere. The society will talk about the issue rationally, which can change the society step by step. But if the people in the society always quarrel and become more divided than before, and the social media platform maybe become an echo chamber, in this circumstance, the society may be harmful than before. So Habermas, a very famous philosopher, a German philosopher, proposed this idea. The idea of public sphere is that the people should talk about the other people with different ideas, different view, and different opinion rationally rather than emotionally. Only in this circumstance, the discussion can make the society become more democratic than before. So come up my conclusion. If you only get the information selectivity based on homophilies, the social media platform maybe will become an echo chamber. But if you get the information in a random or cross-content explosion, that means you can get the different idea from social media, different opinion from social media, and talk about them in rationality. In this circumstance, social media may become a public sphere. So, some of my idea. Nowadays, we can see a very serious social issue in the United States. The first is fake news. Why fake news become a social issue nowadays in the United States? Because more and more younger generation, now the population expand to the older generation, like to get the information from social media platform rather than traditional media. Social media platform is not a source for news. They belong to the platform to discussion. So when we get some news, we should not rely on social media platform. We should remain relying on traditional media such as the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, and CNN. This is the first question. You must get the news from traditional authority media rather than social media. This is my mark. The second, nowadays we can also see American become more divided than before, especially in 2016. Maybe the Republican would like to get the news from Fox News. However, the Democratic would like to get the news from MSNBC. And these two groups present different reality from this different news platforms. So, in order to tackle the problem of dividing, we should discuss with other people with different ideas and different opinion, different view through social media. We can talk about through social media. Just you add the people with different ideas, which will make the United States become less divided. This is my argument. Okay. Okay, in order to let's move on to the second phase. Maybe sometimes you're more interested in the social media use in China. Now China has the world's biggest internet use base, 649 million users, more than the population in the United States. And it's the world's social media user. Of the online population of China, 91% has a social media account. But the China didn't use the social media in the United States because of the Great Firewall. In China, we cannot access Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. We can only use the Chinese social media software such as the WeChat, Weibo, Momo, and Yan, etc. So we can see this is the timeline and history of social media. In 1995, the first generation of social media platform MSN, and 1998, the QQ in China become the first social media. In 2010, the very most popular social media software come into being as WeChat. I will give you more detail on the WeChat. WeChat is the most popular social media used in China nowadays. According to the update research report, nowadays in China, there may be more than people use the time of the people use the social media is more than 6 or 7 hours per day, because it combines different information, not only the entertainment information, but also the daily life information, the work information, and it can also use the WeChat to pay anything, just like the credit card in the United States. I will give you more in the later. So the difference between WeChat and QQ is that WeChat requires users to have a smartphone to log in the network. That means with the smartphone, WeChat can use different functions, such as it can see text messages, voice messages, audio messages, totally different from the QQ. So we can see, I'll give you some description on the function of WeChat. The first, instant messaging. WeChat supports different ways of instant messaging, including text messaging, voice messaging, video messaging. So WeChat become the most powerful channel in interpersonal communication than any others in China. Now I am in the United States for almost 1 year, but I can contact my family every day through the video of WeChat. I can see my son, my wife from the video message, and can contact him every day, every day. So it's a very powerful interpersonal communication tool. The second, public account. WeChat supports users to register as a public account, which enables them to push feeds to subscribers, interact with subscribers, and provide them with service. That means if you open a public account in social media, just like you own a private media, because of the political reason, Chinese people cannot open a media organization in China. But sometimes, if you register or open a public account in WeChat, if this public account can attract thousands of people, in this circumstance, this public account may become a private media for the individual. So the public account of WeChat become a very powerful tool in mass communication in China nowadays. This is also an important function of WeChat. Moment. WeChat supports users to post image and text share music and article, as well as comment and like in the moment. Only in the frame from the user content will be able to view their moment content and comment. With the function of moment, WeChat become an excellent good communication tool. That means just like the function of Facebook, you upload your private information, your friend of your Facebook can see this information. So this is a very powerful tool to contact your close friend, your relative, your colleague. WeChat payment. WeChat support payment and money transfer, which allow their user to peer-to-peer transfer and electronic bill payment. In addition to China, the payment services offered in parts of Southeast Asia, Europe, and North America and Oceania. Nowadays, in China, there is almost no cash because of WeChat payment. WeChat payment can pay anything, almost anything in China nowadays. Not only in the supermarket, vendor, etc. Even some beggar in big city, when they want to ask for money for others always tell the beggar they don't care, they don't bring out the money. The beggar should bring out his mobile and tell the people that I have a WeChat account, please transfer money from my WeChat account, please help me. Because there's no cash in China, people can pay anything. WeChat payment just like credit card in the United States. City service, which WeChat payment, the people can carry out different city service such as the booking doctor appointment, paying electricity bill or traffic fine, and booking transportation. Weibo. Weibo is a very powerful social media developed by Xinlong company. For many Western, Weibo is the equivalent of Twitter. Because of the popularity of Xinlong Weibo, Weibo is often used to refer to Xinlong Weibo because Xinlong Weibo is a very popular Weibo than any other platform. Xinlong Weibo allows users to follow the message of other people with account that they are interested in. This is the icon of the Xinlong Weibo. Xinlong Weibo also grant up different celebrity on its platform, such as also Jimmy Lin, a very famous basketball star in the United States from China. Censorship of social media in China. Why? Maybe you will ask a question. Why the Chinese people didn't use the Facebook, WeChat, Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube because of the social censorship of social media in China? There are 3 levels of this censorship. The first is player firewall. The second is the keyword blocking. The third is manual censoring. Player firewall block off certain websites and social media services, such as Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube from mainland China. Player firewall is a form of trade protection. China has its own version of very many foreign web property. For example, Youku, Tudou, Weibo, Yanyan, and WeChat. So if you go to China nowadays, if you don't bring a VPN, a virtual private property network, that means you can use VPN to connect your computer in China to outside of China. But without this software, if you go to China, you cannot use Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. The website you explore is the Chinese version, but I think most of you cannot read Chinese. So I suggest if you go to China, you should bring a VPN to connect the information outside China. But without VPN, we cannot access this website. The second, keyword blocking. 3 methods. China use what we call IDS or intrusion detection system. That is about all internet traffic passing by. If that traffic contains any match with a list of predefined band keyword, then establish the traffic with a TCP connection reset. That means if the information connects some sensitive information such as the Tiananmen Square protest, Falun Gong, or any information related anti-government, so this information will be checked by the machine automatically and delete automatically. This is a keyword blocking. The third, manual censoring. Manual censoring refers to the action deletion of messages published by individual. The last line of defense, in which improper information that leads through the crack of previous two filters will be censored manually. The government and the company own the which own the social media platform employ thousands of people to delete the improper information. So through this three level, most of the improper information cannot reach the people in China. I give you the last. The relation between social media use and citizen population in China. Due to strict control from the government, collective resistance from grassroots, China frequently outbreak and develop in online movement. In order to protection lead or political repercussion, netizens in China prefer online expression of opinion. In this sense, social media in China offer an effective channel for public discussion and civic mobilization in China. So that means in China, people like to express their opinion through social media platform rather than taking part in the offline participation. Because offline participation always controlled by the government. The people only can express their opinion online. This is the total difference from the United States. So I will analyze this phenomenon from three aspects. The first is online public opinion. The second is online social movement. The third is online participation in government policy making. The first, I will give you an example. Guo Meimei incident. This is the example of online public opinion. In 2011, a young woman named Guo Meimei claimed that she was the general commercial management of the Red Cross Society of China, which is an institution controlled by the government, Chinese government, and continued show of her extravagant lifestyle on Weibo. Because of her position in a non-profit organization, netizens questioned her high income and then quickly turned to criticize the management. Although the management later denied Guo Meimei employment, netizens still insisted that the management should disclose more detailed information about its operation. So the netizens in China expressed their opinion and criticizing this institution through social media platform. Follow this event, other scandals involving charity in China were revealed. This scandal affected public donation. Many other charities in China face crisis of confidence and funding shortfall. Second, online social movement. Social media still could facilitate community participation and help to create large, dense level of this social type in which the internet was employed as a coordination tool in the process of collective action in some extent in China. Online interaction also intermingle recursively with offline activity in real social life if permitted by the government. I'll give you one online social movement which is permitted by government. Free Lunch Project. Free Lunch Project started in 2011 with support from China Charity Foundation. That means it also supported by the Chinese government. This project offers free lunch box with a dish or rice to children in poor region. From then to 2013, program collect 43 million renminbi just from social media platform. This project subsidized 200 schools. Now this project is supported by government. I will give you another online social movement, Me Too in China. We can see Me Too in the United States last year, but this year also several Me Too movement in China. China professor accused me in Me Too movement campaign is stuck, that is fired. A Chinese university fired a professor accused of sexual misconduct after a former student named him in a Me Too movement. The former student Law CC shared her story on China version of Twitter Weibo early in January 2018, just several months before. The account went viral and was seen as China's first widely shared Me Too movement. In a post, she said that the professor tried to force herself on her 30 years ago. The student also had contacted other women who also said they had been harassed by the professor and gathered the evidence. The student post on Weibo gained more than 3 million views within a day, achieved a hit debate. Also, in later, the university announced that the professor has found to have seriously violated school code of misconduct and fired the professor. This is the first Me Too movement in China. The third, online participation in government policy in China. Chinese government has taken significant steps to encourage online participation in government policy making, so long as this involvement does not directly threaten the legitimacy of the state or official position on political sensitive issues. That means Chinese government also use the social media to let the people in China to take some extent of participation because the government want to keep the legitimacy of Chinese government. The civic engagement of Weibo in Chinese People and Political Consultative Conference and the National People Congress mobilized lots of netizens to give their advice on different policies. Since 2010, the two meetings of these two organizations start to engage this important political affair on Weibo by live micro-blogging the entire event interact with citizens. Deputy of NPC and member of CPPCC have launched their Weibo account in succession to interact with netizens by posting their proposal for the conference to ask suggestions and comment. That means they use the social media platform to publish their proposal for the government and ask for suggestion and comment. The Chinese government also use this social media platform to raise their legitimacy in some extent. So we can what's the feature of the citizen participation in social media in China? I will give you three opinions. The first is the social media platform play a role on information diffusion. The second is social media has lots of opinion leader which can make the verify different information. The third, the social media is a platform for free speech, collective voice, and explosion in some extent. Information diffusion. Different from the traditional transmission model of one-to-many, social media make the model of violent dissemination that's one-to-many and to many. This message can be transmitted from one point to a vast number of points in a very short time. Opinion leader. We can also see lots of opinion leader on social media platform. These opinion leaders represent voice of various social groups. They are the social elite that generally lead the discussion of public affair and grassroots user follow. Sometimes these opinion leader are movie star, popular singer, high official or tycoon or political elite, etc. Many Weibo public events were strongly affected by the engagement of public opinion. That means public opinion play an important role on the function of social media on the citizen population. The rise of social media has given netizens an unprecedented capacity for communication and for voicing their opinion. So, in China, social media may be considered as a precursor of free speech in some extent. Future of social media in China. The Cyberspace Administration of China effectively and online anonymity hereby making internet companies responsible for ensuring that anyone who posts message anything is registered with their real name. That means in China, mainland China, in the future, if you want to explain your opinion, you should register with your real name. The second, regarding the internet, Xi Jinping, President of China, mentioned that CCP, the ruling party in China, will strengthen the congestion of internet to create a cleaner space. That means maybe in the future, they will delete more and more negative information or improper information because they want to create a clean, never space. Last, authorities dramatically expand their control over what people say in private online chat group, making anyone who set up a chat group legally responsible for its content and requiring internet companies to establish systems to rate and score the online content of users to ensure they follow the community party line and promote social core value. What is social core value? That means maybe in the future more and more information in social media are also belong to the information of propaganda. Propaganda information is socially core value. Okay, this is all for today. Q&A, question or comment? Okay.
So if I understood correctly, if for example I travel to China, I cannot use Facebook or Instagram or the social media I have in my phone, not even with the app?
Yeah, no idea because in China, if I go back to China without VPN, we cannot access the information outside China. Before I came to United States, I accessed the Google and YouTube with a VPN. But in the period in this year, I heard a news report that the people who sell VPN nowadays in China will be put into jail.
Oh.
I also see some report, some people put into jail because of selling VPN online. Yeah. So I don't know when I come back to China because the technology always improved by the Chinese government. Maybe in the future, if you travel to China, maybe without VPN or any other useful tools, you cannot access the information outside China.
Okay.
This is a chat because the government want to control the information, including the information from online in China.
And we can use WeChat in China, like not people like from China?
You can use WeChat even in the United States because WeChat has an English version.
All right.
Yeah, you can use WeChat and connect your WeChat account to your debit account rather than credit account. So you can pay almost anything in China.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to travel to China, the first suggestion I give to you is to register a WeChat account to connect your WeChat account to your debit account. The second is bring a VPN to see whether it's helpful or not. I'm uncertain. Maybe in the future, the government build a stronghold to protect the harmful information that the VPN is useless.
Thank you.
Okay.
May I ask you, how long have you been here? How long have you been living here?
I'm not living. No, I'm not living here. I'm a visiting scholar, a Fulbright scholar. went to the United States last August. I stayed for a whole year in University of Wisconsin Medicine. I came here. Coming here is supported by Fulbright project program, which is the support Fulbright scholar to travel travel the university in the United States and give a topic. So I share my opinion to discuss the people in the United States and to understand what they think about of the citizen population and the social media. I want to improve the democracy of the United States also all around the world. This is my mission, my aim.
Because my question is, how was for you going outside China?
Yes.
Referring to like the way you were used to know the reality of the world, and then getting out from there where a lot of news sources are blocked, and so seeing the world in a different perspective.
Yes. But in China, I just told you that before I came to the United States, I also get access to the website outside China with using the VPN. Because I long do a lot of research on the internet use and political participation in China. I'm very interested on the politics in different countries. Understanding how the government control the society, what's the difference between the China and the United States. So when I come to the United States, also it will give you a lot of the information, including culture shock. But I think although nowadays the people in China may possess a different reality from that in the United States. But with the development of internet, the information in China will be spanning step by step. The people in China will understanding the world outside in the future. So when I come to different universities in the United States, I'm hopeful to write a book to record the information and the activity on this traveling. And I come to China, I publish the book and give a picture on what is the United States, how the people, how the opinion, what's the opinion of the people in the United States, to give a picture to the Chinese people. So make them more understanding the world outside China. So maybe in the future, through the activity, step by step, the Chinese people will understanding the world outside China. You know, although this is different, I admit.
Hi. So I would like to know your opinion about how these platforms, the Chinese one and like the social media platform in China and in the US, do really work as a real way of citizen participation. Like, is it would, let's say, I feel like the United States community has it's able to mobilize their political ideas through social media, and they really are taken into account by like the government. They have a real impact in the politics.
Yes.
Do you feel like in China, even though they do have this platforms, will the government ever consider, or that do really people have any actual?
Yeah, great question. In some extent, in some specific issue, the opinion online in China can has an impact on Chinese government. So I give you an example of Chinese Me Too movement in China. That's one of the online citizen participation which has a great impact on Chinese government, because Chinese university is controlled by government. Chinese professor also controlled by the government. Why the Chinese university fire the professor? Because it is because of the online public opinion. So in some extent, in some specific issue. The impact of social media in China on citizen population also has some great impact.
Isn't it like a way to control people though? Because it's like giving them that little bit of sense of participation into the small issues so they don't revolt or like make a big disorder. But they would like, I don't feel like the party will ever consider their opinions as a reality too.
Yes, the government control almost most of negative information. Only a few of negative information can talk about on social media. Most of negative information, especially the information related to the higher official, they censor this information and delete this information, absolutely. Only this information relating to the lower official, including the professor in the United States, they let them talk. They let the people express their opinion. So the government is controlling the social media platform. Only let a little negative information to let the people talk, let the people express their opinion.
So how does it reflect in the public? I mean, what is the difference between the users in China and the users in America having these tools? What do you see?
Yes, because of the controlling of the government, the people in China use social media as an entertainment tool. Most of the people is used as an entertainment tool, just to upload their private information, their picture, their selfie, and their video, audio messages. They don't like it to talk about the political information, especially the sensitive information. Yes, yeah, because it's controlled. They are afraid of the police to checking down them. Okay.
Yeah, I have just two questions. First of all, the lecture was wonderful.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, I was wondering, and I think this is a safety feature, does China use Linux as an operating system when they're dealing with social media? They're aware of Linux and the operating system of Linux as being a safety feature? No?
No.
They don't use Linux there?
No.
And also, how can we get a copy of this? How can we get a copy of this lecture?
I think I checked the topic. I think my topic is okay because I already published 2 books on the relationship between internet use and political population, and I think this PPT is okay.
Where can we get one? Where can we get this?
Maybe I just sent to your office. A month before. I just put it in the computer.
Okay.
Yeah, you can copy. You can ask your administrator. Yeah, instructor.
Okay.
Yeah, I just copy it.
Okay.
I sent it a month before. Okay.
Thank you.
So in the beginning of the lecture, you talked about how the youth are basically not as, dutiful to the government.
Yeah.
And more, in actualization and more concerned about the world as a whole. It's more international than to one government. How do you think the government feels about that? About this changing?
Okay. Of course, my argument is proposed by the scholar, just based on the research on. Of course, different scholar has different idea. Now we must admit the fact more and more people in the United States use social media platform. According to the updated research report from Pew Research Institution, about 67% of adults in the United States to get the news from social media platform nowadays. And not only the younger generation, more and more older men, which above 50 age or 65 age also get the news from social media. This is a trap. So I suggest because of some reason nowadays we can see lots of fake news in social media platforms such as the Facebook. So if we don't increase our media literacy to understand what is the fake news or what is true news, it will make the United States, the social media platform in the United States become an echo chamber, which will make the American become more divided than before. So I give you 4 suggestions. The first suggestion, you should remain to get the news from traditional or authority media rather than social media. In some important issue, you should explore this information on scientific article and just not only rely on the news report, because sometimes the news report also has some bias or some false opinion, such as the global warming. Because give you an example, on the news report on global warming in Fox News always told that global warming is a hoax. But the science article on global warming, almost 90% of the article, scientific article on global warming regard it is true rather than fault. So in some important issue, we should not only rely on the traditional media, we should rely on the scientific research article. So combine the traditional authority news media and scientific research article, we can understanding the world more clearly than others. This is my first suggestion. The second suggestion, social media platform is a good platform for discussion. You can discuss the people with different ideas, different views, and different opinion with you. Only if you discuss them in rationality. This will make the social media and make internet in the United States become a public sphere rather than echo chamber. So this is 2 suggestions according my research. Okay. Thank you.
Thank
Any
you.
question?
I think we're out of time.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your
Okay. Thank you.